Do you want to become manufacturing champions in your industry? In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. All right, guys, you want to become a manufacturing champion. You want to be known in your space as a manufacturing champion. There's going to be 3 key areas that you have to look at. Number 1, you have to create a ton of content. Now, I'm not going to say it has to be video content. If you're like, dude, I don't want to be on video, then stick to writing. Each person has their own preference. Either you're fine with making videos or you're fine with writing content. You gotta pick one. Videos are gonna be able to get done faster because you can shoot it, edit it, put it out there, versus writing a lot of long form content is probably gonna take more time. Pick whichever one makes you feel most comfortable. But if you're like, oh, I'm not completely against video, but it makes me feel uncomfortable to be on video, see if you can get that out of yourself by just doing repetitive tasks over and over again. The more content that you shoot, the better that you're gonna get at. At this point in my career, in the last few years, we're probably 700-800 videos in. So to me, it's just natural. It makes it easier for us to create content. That's the way that we do it, but it does not have to be video. But the key is that you have to be making a lot of consistent content. Figure out what that content is in your vertical. Maybe you're the person that interviews people and you ask them, what successes have they seen? Look at all of the shows out there, and a lot of influencers, they're not necessarily saying their own words in the general space. They're interviewing people like Lewis Howes with his whole thing. Like, he's famous not because of his football career, but he's famous because he started interviewing people that have achieved a lot of success and asking them what challenges they have, what made them successful, what are tips that they have, and look at him now. Now, I'm sure eventually he's gonna create his own content, but you can go down that route and be like, I'm gonna be the #1 interviewer for this manufacturing vertical. You can look at other people in that manufacturing vertical. There's a few out there that all they do is interview people and they get a lot of exposure. You could consider them a manufacturing champion. Number 2 is gonna be, you have to be active on social media. What do I mean by that? Posting the content. Create a lot of content, and you have to push it out there on social. That is gonna be the fastest way to get in front of a lot of people all at once. The more exposure you get, the more momentum you get, the more times people are gonna see you, and that could hyper-inflate your own personal brand, get you in front of more and more people, and get your name out there if that's what you're trying to go after. You need to also collaborate with others. Don't just look at it as like, I'm just gonna go down this path, this is just me, I don't wanna talk to anybody else. If there's other people in the space or a complementary space, collaborate with them, have them on your show, do a video together. Play off their comments, comment on their stuff, have them share your videos, you share theirs. This industry is small, and it's somewhat competitive, but as long as you carve out your niche, there's no reason that you can't work with other people within that niche or even in other verticals and be able to say, look, I'm doing this person's awesome, they're doing this on the other side. I've personally talked to a lot of people and done some collaborations. It's fun, it doesn't have to just be, it's all about me, right? You're trying to help other people, maybe people that are just coming up. If you have a bigger personal brand than them or even a bigger company brand, help them out by collaborating with them together. And then with that, you need to attend in-person events, trade shows, association events, all that stuff. It's coming back on the rise here in 2023. After the break from COVID, more people are excited to go into in-person events. So going there, walking the shows, shooting content, writing content, whatever you have to do, going and getting out there, exposing yourself. Become outgoing, be that person that people want to talk to, ask people a lot of questions. If you're doing shows and things like that, you can do a whole show around, here's what I did at IMTS, or here's what I did at this expo, or Plastech, or with this association. You're known as the person that's always videoing content or always writing articles or how-tos after it. You have to figure out and carve out your niche, but you have to be out there talking to people as much as physically possible. And the last tip's gonna be give value first. Never go into any sort of collaboration or going after, I want to become known in this space, in this vertical for doing something. You have to look at it from a standpoint of giving value first. Anything that you want in return will come back to you eventually, but if you go into it by saying, I'm going to do this to get this in return, it will never happen. You have to, people can sense that stuff. So just be like, look, I'm going to do this, I'm going to document this process, this journey, ask these questions to these people, try and help them out. I'm just trying to provide people with value. I'm doing something for myself to get me out of my comfort zone, and I want to try and help as many people as possible, and eventually something will come back, because that's just the way the universe works. It'll come back to you in whatever form you're looking for. But if you go into it with that value first type of mindset, you'll see a drastic difference of people that are responding to you, engaging with you, wanting to collaborate, engaging on social media, sharing your stuff. way more if you go to it from that standpoint versus give me something first to begin with. So I hope that you guys got some value out of this content. Do you want to be a manufacturing champion? If you do, leave them in the comment section below. Subscribe to this YouTube channel wherever you're seeing it. If you're watching this on LinkedIn, go over to YouTube and subscribe. Check out my hundreds and almost 1,000 videos that we have out there. Turn on notifications. If you guys like podcasts for a longer form content, check out Technical Sales and Marketing with me on all the major podcast platforms. We will see you on the next one.